Alcan Systems. We're a new technology startup that's started in Germany, Darmstadt, Germany. It's a new technology that we will introduce you shortly, that was developed in Darmstadt, and it's research that started back in 2002 together with the Technical University Darmstadt and Merck, the chemicals company, and that's through many stages of development, but eventually led to a PhD of one of my co-founders who found a way to make this a commercial product. What we produce is a smart antenna. Smart antennas are antennas that don't just receive signals, but they also know where to look for the signal and can follow signals and track signals. And it's an important concept that's increasingly becoming more and more important in communication fields. The future current plans for the 5G network that everyone's talking about, they're all thinking about smart antennas, and the satellite industry also now is evolving in a direction that will require smart antennas. So what is a smart antenna? Basically what we've developed here, maybe start with describing this. This is a new generation, in some respects we would even call it revolutionary smart antenna that's for satellite reception. The current satellite reception, as you all know, is using parabolic antennas, and with satellite reception you need to have continuous line of sight between the antenna and the satellite. So when both are stationary, this is not a problem. Current satellites are geostationary, and most people on their houses, so it's very easy. When you want to have the satellite mounted on a moving vehicle, like a caravan or a car, then you start having a problem. The car is moving around and it no longer is looking at the satellite. Then the current solution has been to build a motor underneath it, so whichever way the car turns, the satellite looks. But as many of you know, these are big, they're bulky, they break down, they require maintenance, all sorts of problems. You can't have them up when you're driving. If you do want to have the ones driving, you need to have a big dome on your car, it looks very ugly. So many shortcomings. What this antenna does, it's just flat. As you can see, it's very thin, the antenna layer there, and it can lie flat on the roof. It never has to look up, it doesn't have to look at the satellite, but electronically inside there are molecules which look at the satellite. So from an outside observation you don't even notice it. So how does it do it? It uses the same technology as liquid crystal displays. So what you have in your pocket, your iPhone, your mobile phone, that has a display, and that uses liquid crystal. Incidentally, Merck, one of our founders, investors, is the largest supplier in the world. 60–70% of the market is provided by them. So the liquid crystal in here, the molecules are steered using voltage, or just like on a TV set, and the direction of the molecules change. And that change is enough to create the steering effect. And the other neat thing about this is that we can produce this at a display manufacturing plant, existing display manufacturing plant. So if you were to start a new display manufacturing plant, $500 million, $1 billion just to set one up, we don't have to do that. We can work with existing display manufacturers and we can say, look, please produce this for us. And that is in fact what we're doing right now. We are working with several of them, and so we are working to get the production started. It will start sometime next year, and we're expecting first deliveries to be before the end of next year for our antenna. But we believe it will be a revolutionary antenna because it is flat, it's on the surface, and it can also operate while driving. So for cars, for automobiles, but also on ships, on yachts, on airplanes. This antenna system we think will make satellite communication very feasible. Its low profile means it doesn't create any drag, so it's a very functional antenna which solves many problems. And the future, as we talk about self-driving cars, for example, self-driving cars will be all about the people inside having broadband internet connection. For their entertainment, for communication, etc. And to provide this, we think there will be two ways this will happen. One will be via satellites and the other via 5G. This antenna will work with both systems when the time comes. 5G is still a concept in development, but over the next 3 to 5 years we will start seeing rollouts of it in different parts of the world, but it will be mostly an urban solution. So once you leave the big cities, we believe satellite connection will be critical for communication. And this antenna can do both. In cities using 5G, outside of cities using satellite. So we believe, just like Intel Inside has become a hallmark of the computer industry, the core processor, we believe that the Alcan Inside concept for communication in the future, for mobile communication, will be critical factor in all of our lives.
It's
The
for
price
the
at the moment
individual.
we will match the current price of the parabolic antennas, and the price there is roughly between 2,000 and 5,000, depending on the models and capabilities you have. This antenna will match it. We will not exceed that price range. That is our promise to our customers. Impressed, we believe this is a year where new innovations are starting to come. We've seen the first electric caravan with solar panels. So we believe the industry is now becoming more ripe. They are more talking about also connected services that to be provided inside the caravan. Himer's presentation yesterday was also very impressive. They are thinking more about the connected caravan and the lifestyle inside the caravan. So we believe the industry is going in the right direction in terms of the modern world, and we believe we will fit very nicely with that new innovation concept that the industry is now striving to achieve. And we're very happy to be here. It's a great organization. It is one of the largest in the world, the largest I heard yesterday, so that's perfect. And we plan to be here every year, and we plan to be a part of the caravanning industry for the future. Seeing lots of interest. I mean, I think people are recognizing it solves an important problem for current antenna solutions, but they also see it as something part of the future, about how the connectivity and the connectivity solutions, and that this is something new. This didn't exist before in caravanning. This didn't exist before anywhere. So we believe caravanning industry in this aspect will lead globally. So the car industry usually leads, and then the other industries used to follow. I think this is going to be one area where the caravan industry will lead and show the world what these technologies can do, and then we will later see adoption in other industries.